that, traders at Abossey Okai earlier this week gave an ultimatum for foreign-owned shops to close or be forced to close. They said this move is supported by GUTA and seeks to enforce Ghana's trade laws. The spare parts dealers opine this will also protect local businesses. But the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, says the action is a wrong move. Here's CEO Simon Maggi.
Well, closing down the shops is not the right step immediately. We believe that the right step immediately will be a lot more consultations, trading with stalls and also hawking. These are exclusively reserved for Ghanaians. So yes, we can understand some of the concerns that they have. We think that the market is managed by the district assemblies. And so the district assemblies and the district security committee will be in the right position to understand who comes in, who goes out.
Well, my colleague Collins Frimpong also spoke with Dr. Victor Doke on this.
Stakeholder engagement that they need to do, not just a one-off thing. I think they should also have to call the foreign nationals in a meeting. There's this thing we call coexistence, and then you cannot ignore that. So we avoid any kind of diplomatic spat between our big brothers. That's what we call them. So if they are going to do a very comprehensive dialogue, the stakeholders have to be called in. These ownerships, and they have their leadership, so they all have to come in and then agree to what the law states that they can do and what the law says they cannot do. So I think in doing that, before then, you need to, address these issues, send a message to them, then they can agree. But if we just, go in there without explanations or giving them what the law says or whatever, I think it will be somewhat of a confrontation if care is not taken. So these things will have to be done.
Doc, we've gone past all these stages where we need to bring in the dialogue. Today, they want to go out and eject people, the foreign nationals from the retail market. Most of the times when this happens, we see people coming in trying to retaliate. It's not going to cause some sort of distraction.
It will, if it is not done well. You mentioned the negotiations and the dialogue has been done. So if so, then mine should understand. And they wouldn't even have come to open the shops if they have understood the terms, the laws. So it means they didn't. So what do you do again? You go back to the dialogue table. There's nothing wrong with it. But if we don't do that and then we want to, enforce by going in there with GUTA and then the state security and we have confrontations, how do you de-escalate the situation? You'll still come back to the dialogue table. So it's better you go, dialogue doesn't matter how many times you do it, so far as you want to achieve your aim. So it's better for them to understand than for you to go there and then now you have, physical confrontations with them, which will send a bad signal also to what the other nationals. What if this sends a wrong signal to their followers or their kinsmen in their country, and then they take it the wrong way, they start attacking Ghanaians? That's not what we want. So I think we need to do due diligence and know what to do in this case. Dialogue can be done so many times. Now I'm proposing the dialogue because these are people who can understand that they are businessmen. So once they know they are not supposed to tread into other areas, they won't.
Now, quick one before you go. We have a lot of foreign nationals, and most of these people are Nigerians. Looking at our relationship with them, how is this going to impact our relationship with the other countries whose people are there?
Laws are laws, and even in Nigeria, when you go to Nigeria, you abide by the laws. You cannot trade in any other ways, or you can't go to wholesale, or you can't go to retail if the law does not permit you. So I think they are law-abiding people. They know what the law states here. So they will definitely go by it. Our relationship with them is not going to go sour if we take the right steps.
Well, let's head to Abossey Okai now and speak to my colleague Adobia Sari, who's there to find out whether really the shops have been closed. Adobia, what can you report?
Yes, Mamiesi, we are currently here at Abossey Okai Spare Parts Market, where we before we got here, we actually roved parts of the market for some time, and we noticed that some shops were closed, but coming to the office to speak to leadership, they told us some people didn't comply with the directive, and thus they've opened their shops today. Apparently, the shops were closed from Monday. They were given 3 days to close their shops, which actually ends today, where the leadership of Abosssey Okai is expected to meet with the leadership of these foreign nationals and other stakeholders to have a proper stakeholder engagement to discuss salient issues and what can be done about the complaints from Ghanaian traders that foreign nationals are putting pressure on their businesses. Now, we came here and we noticed that some shops are closed, all right, because their day hasn't ended yet, but others have opened. And one of the leaders was telling me they claim, those whose shops are open claim they are married to Ghanaians, and so the shops do not belong to them as foreigners, they belong to their spouses, which leadership say is a lie. The PRO is not in yet, he's yet to speak to us, but currently this is a situation here. We're told they were given 3 days to close their shops and will be opened after a proper stakeholder engagement meeting happens. But some of them have refused to comply to this directive. Writing Frame is a shop owned by Nigerian who says is married to a Ghanaian, so does not fall under that category of foreign-owned shop. So he's opened his shop. He closed it on Monday, but on Tuesday and today, the shop is opened, as well as other shops. But there are shops on top of this building, at the top floor and the middle floor of this building, which are closed, all right, waiting for the aftermath of the stakeholder engagements before they will open if they have to. But I have here a few traders here at Abosssey Okai who also deal in spare parts. I'll be engaging shortly. Wafa, morning, no, Pacho Hoye.
I'm Hoye.
Pacho, Yanyanite, yes, na ewo se sebe Nigeria for any omo foreigners no mo shop Abosssey Okai omo nto omo shop mu adentia
the into omo customer to shop ni mo no anya boni bia, but I say nyina de nka nyina ki hu ye de nyina ye mama nyina nka ye nipa ba ko, but say some ba omo de ni ma ne ba omo supply man na ye su ye dwane cost no ye ton no mo mfa ma omo ba no masane ye be compete the same market price no ono ba na wabeje store no so de gu ni niem no so ton no say de ya ha no ye ton e compete or even kura no mount me ba kura understand say utimi san te so kura e ma mo makofa ne ma na free to e ba sa na wo ba wo wo ye omamba no wo ton de na wo de ne boye din kura che ono no a oye you know.
Wafa membisa ade we akoso for how long?
Oh, I cost almost 10 years in it.
And yes, Ache. But once I buy a who says shops in me, amatum, all right, baby, so be. By any leader back who cast or catcher and say, Ninty ammonia, she and some person a bayan to quantoquasem. No cry woman saying.
I know they am punny for an association punny for no. And I don't craft Nigeria for punny for no more home. Now, I'm come up. Now, I'm to Niama and Yama and Cosso Boko, Mumpesa, on the Malabesha, myself. I get Biama, they went to and Triaba.
Okay, so from what they are saying, this particular man here says when these foreigners bring them products, probably engines, spare parts, whatever it is they sell here, they do not only supply to them, sometimes they go to the extent of reducing their prices, making competition very tough for them in this place. And these were concerns that were also raised on Monday by traders when we came here. They said the same things about how they're putting pressure on their businesses. And then the reason they haven't attacked anyone or confronted anyone is because of the much respect they have for leadership. Leadership has told these traders not to confront anyone, not to ask any questions, not to go attacking anybody, even though they have seen their counterparts, foreigners, have opened their shops. So they're quietly sitting here waiting for management to have that engagement with the executives of the foreign nationals, and then they'll know the way forward. And this is in line with something GIPC said yesterday. They just hope they were quite afraid that there will be some sort of altercations or violence. But I think these traders here at Abosssey Okai are doing very well by paying respect to their leadership and watching calmly. The meeting is expected to happen later today around 4 p.m. I'm told, or earlier, depending on the time the executives all arrive. So that's the current situation here at Abosssey Okai. Mame.